I'm here with the Serbian, excuse me, what's the full name of the?
St. Sava Serbian Orthodox Church.
Saint
Sava.
Sava Serbian Orthodox Church. So you're at a group that I'm familiar with because I've driven through Jackson before with the shotguns being shot in the air.
Yeah.
And
Christmas time.
it's very exciting. I understand that's a long-standing tradition that goes back all the way back to Europe. Yugoslavia. Wonderful. And you're here to talk about an upcoming event, the goat barbecue.
That's right.
So why don't you share a little bit first about what your organization does, and then about the event itself.
Well, if you want to, we're part of the Orthodox Church, the Eastern Orthodox Church. The miners who came to Jackson back in the mid-1800s brought their faith with them. And in 1894, they had enough people to actually build a church. It was the first consecrated Serbian Orthodox church in America, in fact, in the whole Western Hemisphere.
Wow.
And we've been in continuous operation ever since. We have about 60 families who still live around here and support the church. But at one time, Jackson was fully one-third Serbian.
One-third Serbian.
Third Italian, a third Serbian, and then everybody else. So Orthodox Christianity has been in the foothills now for 120 years.
Now, I mentioned the Christmas event that everybody's familiar with, but what are some of the other events or traditions or things in the community that where people might run into your church?
Well, obviously we celebrate Christmas and Easter. We have services every Saturday evening, Vespers, at 6 p.m., and Sunday liturgy at 10 a.m. The community, we're involved in our community. In fact, that's one of the reasons that we have the Goat Barbecue, to help us raise funds to support other nonprofit endeavors here in Jackson. We support the Interfaith Food Bank, we support the Amador Pregnancy Center, Christmas to Remember, and our parish also donates dinners for Thanksgiving through the food bank.
So really active, strong, long-standing organization in the community.
Yes,
which
presence.
is definitely worth supporting, but the event sounds interesting by itself too. So you guys want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I could talk a little bit about the event. The Serbian Goat Barbecue was started in 1954, so this will be our 60th annual Goat Barbecue, which is quite a feat in itself. Rumor has it that Dan Vukolovich and George Brivich started it 60 years ago. We roast 16 goats on an open fire spit, and this spit used to be hand cranked, and all the kids would have to hand crank the goats. But since there's been a motor installed and there's a chain that runs, so all the spits are in continuous motion all day. Saturday in the evening, or Saturday during the day, we have a group of people that get together and we stuff the goats full of garlic and rosemary. And then Sunday at sunup, the goats go on the fire about 5 a.m. if you guys meet, and they roast all day. We have church at 10. There's a service at 10 a.m. and then at noon, people come for a no-host bar, and then at 1 o'clock we have a buffet lunch with all the goat. So
no-host bar, big goat roast, good people.
Good people. We have
music.
Yeah, we have a tamburica band, which is Serbian music, and they play. Sometimes there's kolo dancers, which is the Serbian national dance.
Folk dance.
Yeah, it's just a great get-together. We have a lot of Serbian pastries. Slivovic is the plum brandy. It'd be the equivalent of Italian grappa.
Oh, okay.
We're big on that. And then we
Serbian
call our
beer.
beer Pivo, Nikšićko Pivo, which is the beer we drink.
What sort of beer would that be similar to if people aren't familiar with Pivo?
I guess it would be like
It's like a pale ale.
Yeah, like a
like a
pale
pale ale?
It's a little heavier than a lager, and we also have Yellen lager. So there are two different styles that will be available at the barbecue.
So beer enthusiasts, food enthusiasts, people that just like an excuse to get out and have a good time.
Right.
Correct.
Lots of different things.
But for this year, we are sold out.
Oh, okay.
This event's becoming quite popular, and we have sold out this year. So we pre-sell tickets next year. If anybody's interested, definitely get on it early because this event's just getting more and more popular.
So you're here to tell everybody about the great time.
Yeah, the
but
history of
it's
it,
so
the great
wonderful.
time.
They gotta wait till next year.
Next
See, doesn't that
Memorial
make
Day.
you want to go though?
Yeah,
That's
the,
right.
the demand's high.
The demand's really
Simple
high.
economics, right?
Every year, Memorial Day weekend.
So for those that have already bought tickets, you want to remind anybody the date and the location if they've never been there before.
Yeah, the date will be on Sunday, May 25th. It's going to be at the Serbian Church Hall out on Jackson Gate Road, or North Main Street. Church is at 10 o'clock, and then the event starts at noon.
Wonderful. So this is it's too bad because it sounds like a lot of fun. I wish I would have bought a ticket.
Yeah, next year. There's always next
Are
year.
there ever scalpers out there? Is that popular? You get scalpers out there going
Not
for
yet.
it?
Not yet.
So you mentioned, sorry, I'm a big food guy. Circle back to the food. You mentioned Serbian pastries. Is there any specific ones that you just what they're like and what they're called?
Well, we're known for, very sweet pastries made with nuts and honey, similar to the baklava that the Greeks make. We have what we call pita. Other people know that as strudel. Very flaky pastry crust, and then filled with fruits and nuts or cheese.
My favorite, priganica,
Priganica.
which is basically a donut hole rolled in sugar and
Right.
Just
with much more oil.
Why
I
not
don't-
just if you have a donut, add sugar?
You have to.
Why not?
They are so good.
So the one you were just talking about, though, it sounds like a more interesting baklava.
It's basically baklava.
Well, it's just a little different shape. The baklava has layers of the pastry shell or flake, and then nuts or cheese. And ours are, you take the whole long sheet and then put the filling in and roll it up and then bake it and then cut it into pieces and serve it.
This is fascinating. I've lived in Amador County almost my entire life. And with the exception of that one snippet of you guys going down Main Street, I didn't know anything about your church or your culture. So it's very fascinating. All right, so thank you both for coming. It was
Thank
nice
you.
to meet you. I'm
Nice
just gonna
to meet
shake your
you.
hands. I wish I could make it this year.
Yeah, no worries. You can come by any Sunday.
Well, I
Check
might
us
try
out.
to sneak in.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys
All
later.
right.
Thank you.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN.
The Italian